Alright, so what we're looking at right now is we're going to look at how to grind a drill bit properly so that it will cut efficiently and correctly. Looking at a few of these drill bits that have been badly abused, they definitely need re-grinding. This one totally wore out. A very common thing for the beginner not using enough coolant and not clearing the chips. The aluminum has been welded onto the drill bit flutes. Before grinding is attempted, the aluminum should be chipped off so that it won't load the grinding wheel. Here's another instance where the margin of the drill definitely needs to be ground, as well as the cutting edges need to be ground. So there's a good 1/4 inch of material that needs to come off the tip of that drill bit or the point of that drill bit before we can even think about salvaging it. So I showed you some wore out drill bits, some that have icing or aluminum iced onto them. This one's been broken. Now this is still a usable drill bit. It's hardly been used, you can tell by the shank, hardly any scuffing on it at all. But it has been broken, so we're going to tune this up. The first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to machine it down, grind it down until there's no cracking on it. So I'm going to grind it flat, and then I'm going to look at grinding the 59-degree angles. So we'll zoom in to the grinding wheel and we'll get this small little drill bit back in action. So I'm grinding it down until there's no crack visible or chip visible. Now about quenching drill bits, if they're high-speed steel drill bits, it shouldn't really matter a lot. I prefer not to quench the drill bits, but if they're high-speed steel, you can. If they're getting hot on your fingers while you're grinding, just give it a break. Let somebody else on the grinder for a few minutes. Okay, so I've gotten rid of the chipping. Now I'm going to start working on the 59-degree angle. So got a pretty good estimation of that this is 59 degrees. And I'm not worried about the clearance angle at this point. I am just putting the 59-degree on. So that's that one side. That's our second side. Now the clearance angle is nowhere near where it should be. But as I had said, I'm not worried about that right now. I want to get the length and the angles same. Alright, now that's pretty close. I'm going to put a little bit of clearance angle on there now. Check out this drill bit up close. Alright, so that's our drill bit that was broken. Checking the clearance angles. Clearance angle can be a little bit more. What I have done on this one is I've decided to grind the back almost straight down so that I don't need to worry about the rear heel ever rubbing. So I'm going to have almost like an angle flat and then straight back. So we'll tune that up after. This side illustrates that a little better. So we've got like a flat and then the angle back. As long as we have no rubbing and it's between 8 and 12 degrees so that it's not going to be too weak, it'll be good. The angle wise, let's see how we did by eye. So here we've got, whoa, bang on, and it's at about 3 length, and the other side is at 3 length and bang on. So that was a very good estimation on my part. But that comes with practice. It's like anything, you guys. You've got to practice if you're going to be good at anything. or get better at anything. So thankfully I've got lots of drills for you to sharpen, and you will all become experts as long as you are doing them. So this drill, for all purposes, just needs a little bit of clearance angle on this one side, and then it can be put back into service. Alright, so here's a drill bit we're going to tune up. Again, the clearance angle, and I think the angles and the lip lengths need to be tuned up as well. The angle on this one's pretty good, and it looks like it's about 9. And on this side, angle looks pretty good, but it's 8. So the length of that side needs to be tuned up. And I'm going to grind the clearance a little bit differently, and the chisel point is quite wide on this drill bit, so I'm going to thin the web using the corner of the drill or of the grinder. Thinning the web will help with the amount of pressure needed to drill through your material. The one thing that you don't want to do when you're thinning the web, though, is you don't want to damage your cutting edge, so you got to be careful with that. So we'll have a look right away at grinding this and tuning it up so it can get back in service. So the same technique that we're using, we're just going to, the angles are pretty close. One is bang on, the other one needs to be just a little bit, and the length needs to be a little bit. And then I'm going to do a different technique for the clearance angle, which I'll show you on the video. So I'm holding the angle of the drill a little bit lower than normal. And that's providing me with some clearance angle already. Now to get the clearance angle, all that I'm going to do is grind the heel of the drill. Okay, I'm grinding it right away, just away like that. So now I've got a bit of a flat and then a big steep recess. That still gives me the 8 to 12 degree clearance, but the clearance is just at the cutting edge. Now on some brands of drills, you'll see this same technique on brand new drills. So if it's good enough for a brand new drill to have that, why not when you regrind it? So we're going to tune it up just a little bit more and then thin the web. Pretty happy with my estimation of the length and the angles. Now to thin the web, I need to make sure that I'm not going to touch the cutting edge with the grindstone, and I'm going to just very easy use the corner of the grindstone. That's thinning out our chisel edge. That's our thinning out. We do a little bit more on this side. So with that now, we're going to be able to have less pressure when we go to drill through our material. Alright, so this is the drill that we had just ground. There's our cutting edge, our web thinning or chisel point thinning, and our clearance angles. So this one is good to go test, and then I think maybe that clearance angle could be a little bit more, so we'll tune that up and then go test it and put it back in service.